If you do not like someone's story, write your own. Changing Narratives with Wambui Kabage.
Hi everyone, this is Wambui Kabage back again. We are going to be discussing, why do I have to pay to see my child? You see, the reality is that children don't live on air. Okay, you as a person who's come back into somebody's life, a child's life, or you as a person who leaves your spouse and leaves your child with that spouse, has to recognize that the law will enforce some kind of maintenance, right? And you know, part of my experience as a mediator is understanding that this process of maintenance is a very complicated concept. No, it's a simplistic concept to appreciate that yes, your child needs food, your child needs maintenance, but it becomes very complex when it's linked in with emotion. I have seen extremely wealthy people refuse and deny to pay maintenance to a child, not because they couldn't afford it. Oh, they can afford it. But the reason they didn't want to give it was because it was pegged with emotion. I want to hurt the other person. I want to make sure she or he pays. I am not going to pay for this or that. Because in your minds, like I keep saying, you seem to interlink these relationships. You seem to link your relationship with your child with your relationship with your soured relationship. This is very wrong. And I think it's very important that both parties appreciate it. Because you see what happens is the one who is giving the money and the one who's receiving the money, both of you use maintenance as a weapon. And so you essentially, you weaponize your child. So the one who is asking goes over and above, right? Why? Because I'm going to make that person pay. And then the one who's giving is like, I'm not going to pay a cent. Why? Because you're so upset. So what mediation does, and this is why I love mediation, it makes you understand a concept which you already innately understand. But it makes you understand it by helping you also remove the emotion connected to it, right? Because you know, we are all, no, I'm not telling any of you anything you don't understand. Everyone understands you need to pay for your child. I don't think there's anybody who doesn't understand that. But why is it such a touchy and painful concept and an idea that creates such, I'm telling you guys, foolishness? And I'll tell you why foolishness. I'll give you a perfect example. I have had people who've gotten a court order to pay for their child and they quit their job just to spite that court order. You know, for me, that's like biting your face off to spite your nose. Okay, because you need a job for many things and maintenance was just one of those things, okay? But why do people, right-thinking, rational human beings do that? They do that because they've not been able to dissipate the emotion connected to the concept. But what mediation does is allow you guys to come together, vent that anger, and reach a space where you understand that it is the best interest of the child that we are discussing here. So, lady here, we will not ask for a trip to Disney World, okay? And gentlemen here, you are not going to argue about a receipt for a hockey stick, which is either fiberglass or not fiberglass. This is not conversations we're involved in right now, okay? And for other people, we're not going to negotiate, but why? Why 3 packets of milk? Why am I seeing 3 packets of milk here? And you're not going to go and ask for the whole cupboard of milk, okay? So let's have a balance, but you will never have a balance until and unless you realize that the court system is not going to allow you to heal in that way, to be able to look at these concepts rationally. So this is why I keep discussing it is so important to go into mediation before you go into litigation, if at all you go into it. So we're going to be discussing in the next show why it is so important to abate or stop problems and fights and conflicts before they happen. But for you to understand that, it's very important to go back to the very beginning, how you began your relationship. That's a very important conversation to help you understand how to preserve your families. Join me next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.